Today's topic, 10 keys to personal finance for physicians. We will cover 10 important topics, not in any particular order, but some will include paying back debt, education cost, burnout, lifestyle creep, just a few. You did the math, that wasn't 10. Gonna leave you on edge for the rest. Stay tuned, those are all coming up next. Number one, increase your earnings. I know what you're thinking, this is not breaking news, but as a physician, you have a lot of unique opportunities to increase your income. Of course, this could be the easy ones like negotiating a higher pay. This could be having an attorney review your contract to make sure that not only you're being paid fairly for your area, but also for your specialty. We can even get into side incomes. Maybe there's a way for you to add a side gig in there. This could be some form of rental real estate, right? Where you're starting to add your passive income. This could be 1099 consulting work. This could be expert witness work. This may be a small business idea that you and your significant other or your spouse are working on that actually has nothing to do with the field of medicine. But number one key here is increase your earnings. You and your long-term financial plan will be very happy with this increase. Number two, save early and often. Main benefit here is just time in the market, which leads to better compounding interest. So wherever you are on your current journey, whether you're in residency, fellowship, or 10 years into being an attending physician, your goal is to continue to save as much and as early as you can to allow compounding interest to work its magic for you. That is the number one key to long-term financial success in the investment world, and that is more or less just referring to compounded interest, which is time in the markets. Number three, avoid burnout. This is so vital in the physician world because no matter how world-class of a physician you are, if you get burnt out and you cannot go to work the next day, not only does it put you, your family, and your entire financial plan in a tough spot, but more importantly, what is the next step here? And this is why we always force travel budgets for our clients, finding that work-life balance, understanding where your work-life balance needs to be at, understanding where your call schedule needs to be at. The earlier you can figure this out in your career, the better, because the further you get into it, the more commitments you're making, higher probability for that burnout. So at all cost, whatever you need to do, whether this is travel, whether this is meditation, whether this is different massage, whatever you need, do whatever you can to avoid burnout, not only for you, but for everyone else that relies on you as well. Number four, protect your assets. And I'm not referring to traditional asset protection. This is more or less in regards to insurance, right? Protect your income. How do you do this? With disability insurance. Protect your lifetime income with life insurance. Protect your health with health insurance. Protect your liability with umbrella policies. Protect yourself from medical malpractice with medical malpractice insurance. These are all very important steps to protect your assets in terms of insuring them, because one mishap in any of those categories can lead to very large, if not devastating, consequences to your long-term financial plan. Number five, live below your means. This is a popular one that we cover quite a bit. If you follow the White Coat Investor, Dr. Dolly, this is the idea of living like a resident into your attending career. But the whole key here is you're always trying to leave wiggle room in your budget, whether we consider this discretionary, whether this gives you extra opportunity to pay down debt more aggressively or to save at a higher clip. You need to make sure that you're living below your means. You should not be continuing forward in a negative month to month, especially as a physician. You have very high income. You have a very unique opportunity at your disposal there where you can really take advantage of your situation to better yourself, for you, for your family, and again, for anyone that relies on you. So continue to live below your means, build a budget, stay below that budget. Number six, create an investment strategy that matches your goals and stick with it. This is my attempt to tell you to remove emotion. There is no magical sauce in the investment world. If someone tells you they have a magical formula and that this magical formula always wins, you should run as fast as you can. You need to build a strategy. You need to trust your strategy. You want to be diversified. You want to be low cost, and most importantly, control your emotion. If you can do those three things, you should have a very good long-term investing career. Not only that you are grateful for, your family's grateful for, but your financial plan will also be smiling right back at you. Number 7, get out of and avoid debt. This is more or less regards to bad debt. So think of this as credit cards, bad auto loans, personal loans are really high on this list here. And the goal is to get yourself out of that hole as quickly as possible. You could include mortgage and student loans here, but I do consider those good debt that over time, sure, we do want to work those down, but we want to make sure it fits in context to your long-term plan. But for this one in particular, you want to get out of bad debt. So in this example here, credit cards, bad auto loans, AKA we stretched out a car loan over 7 years or 6 years, or heck, anything longer than that is really bad. And then also plugging in any type of personal loan. Hopefully no one's taking out payday loans anymore, but those are also very bad debt. So avoid that. If you're in that debt, it's okay, work your way out of it. And then once you're out of it, try not to get back in there again. Number 8, minimize education costs for you and your children. Now, depending on when you're watching this, you're probably thinking, Chad, the damage has already been done. I am an attending physician and my debt bill is $500,000. In that example, we're now thinking towards the next generation and maybe even the next generation after that. And the key here is to save money. Maybe this is taking advantage of a 529 plan. Maybe this is taking advantage of a prepaid tuition plan that your state offers. Maybe it's even just getting money invested to give our children or even grandchildren flexibility so that they don't have to come out of college with the same type of burden that you did as a physician. And looking for lower education opportunities. Obviously, we don't want to punt on great education opportunities, but I think there's a consistent theme out there that some universities are charging way too much for a similar or maybe even less than similar education as some other lower middle of the range cost tuition. So key here is to do your research, start to save, and we're trying to make sure that future generations aren't coming out of their education with the same types of debts that our generation unfortunately had to deal with and are currently dealing with. Number 9, pursue low-cost lifestyle options. I chuckle coming into this one because I used to think that running was something that would be a low-cost hobby. And then I got into running, and then when you plug in supplements and running fees to get into races and fancy shoes, all of a sudden, what I thought was a low-cost option is no longer low cost. This is more or less pay attention to your surroundings, right? Golf is a big hobby for many. Golf is expensive and it can get very expensive quickly. So you're trying to find hobbies, not to be your main hobby per se, but some other hobbies that are maybe lower cost that could offset some of those higher cost activities so that it gives you a good balance of things to enjoy, again, work-life balance, avoiding burnout, but also not having to spend every single day fixing up the yacht or at the country club waiting for the next golf round. So whenever you can, try to find some low-cost hobbies to sneak into your current flexibility of activity planning. My number 10 tip is my number 1 tip almost 100% of the time. The best way to protect your long-term financial plan is to avoid divorce. Whatever you need to do to keep the fire going, baby, make sure you have it in your plans, because the quickest way to lose half your assets is not from a medical malpractice claim, it is from a divorce. So make sure that you are investing the time and energy that your relationship needs so that you both can live a very successful and happy life together. The good news is there is good evidence that actually physicians have lower divorce rates, and also high net worth individuals have lower divorce rates. So I guess they're spending those extra funds on date nights, which I fully support. So number 10, avoid divorce. And there you have it, 10 keys to personal finance for physicians. We were all over the map there. Like I said at the start, there wasn't any particular order, but all really good topics for you to try to follow. Maybe some fit your current life, maybe some do not, but the more of those that you can follow, I would argue the better your long-term outlook will be. As always, thanks for hanging out with me for a bit here on this video. If you have not subscribed, now would be a great time. You can click on the subscribe button here. If you click on the little bell icon here, that will allow you to get a notification every time we release a new video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will catch you on the next video.